Good morning, everyone. This is Jim Clark here at the Synchronicity Sanctuary in Central Virginia to share another contemplation with you, something that might be of use to you and use in your meditation practice to help deepen your experience of yourself. So the contemplation that we're going to look at today is participation. The observer affects the observed. Consciousness plays a role in the experience of reality, as well as observers of reality that we experience. And the mechanics of this are can be explained simply by frequency of vibration. Our senses, including our mind, can only cognize vibrations of a certain range. In the subtle dimensions of our own being, the vibrations continue to grow in frequency well beyond what is observable through our senses. So, what is being created moment to moment, and forever changing appears to us as something fixed because we cannot cognize the changes as they are happening. We don't see the film, we see snapshots, and which is really our memory, and we keep referring to our memory as reality, even though it's not. It's already changed before we take the snapshot. So this is the way we experience life, as something solid and something relatively fixed, and yet we also experience change, an imperceptible change until it reaches a point where we cannot help but notice it because it manifests at the level of reality that we are capable of observing. So change is happening, and we try to catch up with it and deal with it as we can as human beings. And if we are not aware, if we are not subtly aware, then we don't know what the process is, and it can be somewhat daunting and somewhat threatening. But it's really not. It's just the creation that we are participating in and observing. So when you meditate, when you create enough balance, the communication and the conversation between you and your subtler dimensions begins to happen. And a kind of presence begins to develop, and that presence is really the higher vibrations of the subtler dimensions of yourself. You are the angels, and you are the subtle beings that exist in your reality as an individualized expression of the one consciousness that is all and everything. Your experiences are unique to you, and yet grounded in the totality of consciousness itself. So it's a dance, and it's a celebration when you're in communication with the source of your being, in the source of your creation. But if you're not, if you're restricted to the mind and the senses, the solidity and separation between you and your world is a fear-based experience, as we all well know, and not often very pleasant, because the reality of yourself in relation to the reality that you are creating isn't apparent, and you're not in the experience of that. When you are, then your experience, even though you're still comprehending solidity, even though you're still living in a physical world, being, this happening is happening simultaneous to your realization that you are the source of that creation. So it radically changes your experience of it. It shifts from fear-based to love-based, and when you're anchored in that experience, you realize the potential of the human experience for what it was meant to be and what it is, to wake up It's where consciousness can realize itself for the sake of itself and to continue the celebration of itself. And that's what we're here for. We're here as that expression from consciousness, individualized, differentiated, and yet the same consciousness celebrating itself. And if we participate fully, it means that we are ready to wake up to that reality and have the experience of what we call enlightenment. And that is how consciousness is celebrating itself. We are the individualized aspects participating in that event. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Participation, the observer affects the observed. As you grow in awareness, the state of your being will increase the probability of a love-based creation. And this is what you can share with your world. And the more people that wake up, the more people that anchor themselves in that experience, the more possibilities exist for consciousness on this planet to share in that experience and to grow in that experience. So, which is one reason why we're doing these live broadcasts, is to help share what we've done to reach that state of being that we all enjoy today, from meditation and living a holistic lifestyle and committing to the exploration of who we are instead of being stuck in the assumption of who we are and remaining in a dense dimensional experience. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I would like you to take the reins of your mind, to meditate, to create the balance that you need, that you might also participate consciously in the celebration of life as it really is. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week. I hope you can use that and raise your vibrations and celebrate yourself and the people in your world and help them to raise their vibrations as well. So thank you, and I will be with you again next Monday with another contemplation to share. Until then, celebrate, meditate, meditate. Thank you.